Hey guys, Tina here with Next Step Streaming, and today I want to talk about backseat gaming. So, you're starting a new game, you're a brand new streamer, and you're excited to dive into it, and you have no idea, and you're super hyped because you have a bunch of people in chat who are ready and excited to see your reaction. And then you start playing, and then people start telling you what to do. And at first, you're like, oh, okay, thank you for the direction. I appreciate that. And then after 30 minutes, and after an hour, and after 3 hours, and after an 8 hour stream of people screaming at you, telling you what to do, and telling you spoilers, and kind of just overall making this new adventure, this new game, instead of fun, it being absolutely miserable and becoming jaded. So we're going to talk about backseat gaming. For the longest time, backseat gaming was absolutely a hard no, not allowed in channels. And of course, people fought back, right? What else are you going to talk about when you go into your channel if you can't exactly talk about the game? And if you're struggling, it can really push some people off if they can't help, right? Or if they get yelled at, especially. Because think about it, their intention is, hopefully pure and true, that they just want to help. But sometimes it comes off wrong, especially with text. You can't hear tone or attitude, especially as a newer streamer. You don't really have kind of a thick skin with stuff like that. And then also it's just a new environment overall. Sometimes it can be very overwhelming, and it can kind of get to you, right? And beat yourself up. Like, am I not good? Do I not want to know what I'm doing? And then the next day when nobody's there to hold your hand, do you know what to do? So backseat gaming for the longest time was a hard no. Then people started to realize that it was pushing people away and it was starting to trigger people. So they kind of lifted the no backseat gaming rule. So right now is a very gray area when it comes to people interacting with spoilers and advice. So here's something that I now use that has really helped cut down on any sort of aggressive backseat gaming, but still allows my community to help me and encourage me and kind of really become invested in the game because they're playing the game through me. So right off the bat, I let people know that, yes, while I am new to the game, there are a few rules that go about this. One, never, ever, ever tell me what to do. Do not come into my chat and say, you need to build this right here, right now. And you sure as hell do not start yelling at me or turn nasty about it. Right off the bat, don't ever just come in out of nowhere and tell me what to do. That is way too aggressive backseat gaming. I usually soften the blow a little bit with listen, I appreciate the intention of wanting to help. And while I see that you know your game really well and you're invested, part of the fun is watching me learn and screw up. So while you are being hard with the don't tell me what to do, you're also kind of giving them a little credit that you know deep down that they're a better person, or at least you're trying to make them feel like a better person. So they're like, oh yeah, I guess I shouldn't be like that, right? So hard and soft right off the bat with that. Then you're going to follow up with, while we're on that, I would still love your input. It's a team effort and I still don't know what I'm doing and you obviously know what you do. Please wait until I ask specific questions. I promise as a streamer, I will be sure to ask you anything that I'm stuck on. So what I'm doing is I'm reassuring them that they're still going to be able to talk to me when I'm getting frustrated as long as I'm asking the questions. And once again, reassuring them that yes, I will be asking those questions because sometimes streamers can get a little stubborn and not ask for help because they're scared of that slippery slope of once you open the door for some backseat gaming, is everybody just going to launch at you? But because you already put down the guideline that no, you can never tell me what to do and not get nasty about it, but also at the same time, that is almost their safe word is when I ask a question and I clearly explain it, that then they can go and explain what I'm doing with that. Now, sometimes, yes, this does open the door for other people to come in and just spout random stuff. I then follow up with, hey, once again, I appreciate that, but I'm in no way, in no point even at that part of the game. I don't even know what you're talking about, and it is not helping me at this moment. Do me a favor, stick around and wait until I get to that moment, and maybe I'll ask your help, but at this point, that is not helping or contributing to this channel whatsoever. Once again, you're still kind of standing your ground that it's like, hey, that's not okay to come in and tell me how to beat the boss 4 levels from now because I'm not there. down deep, they're just trying to show off, and they're trying to beat your game by telling you something that you have no idea of, so you can't even ask questions. But just stand your ground and say, listen, we're focused on this right now. I can't focus on the other stuff, or else I'm going to fail this step, which will never let me go to that step. So please be patient and wait, and also shut the fuck up. But no, not really. Don't say that. But be, that's the tone that you should have, right? Like, you should never have to say it, but you should just be like, oh, okay, I see what she's saying. You know what I mean? Like, they can read between the lines that they need to sit down and stop with throwing stuff at you. Finally, with spoilers specifically, if they come in and ruin, Snape killed Voldemort and just ruin everything for you, very clearly, specifically say no spoilers whatsoever. This is your warning. If there's a spoiler again, and it's an insta ban. Usually it only happens one, like, I get less spoilers, because I don't know, maybe I've lucked out because of my other 2 rules. People realize that spoilers are like way past the line. Like, I've already kind of drawn the line at helping. Like, if you're going to go way past it and just tell me a spoiler, like, because I've already kind of put it in my tone that I have no patience for that. I've never really, I don't think I have ever had a spoiler if I think about it, but if it does happen, just clearly explain to them that's not okay. This is your warning, and if it happens again, you will be escorted from the channel. Go watch another streamer. And then even if you want to go so far as explain it, like, why are you coming in and telling me a spoiler? That's part of the fun. Watching a streamer is living vicariously through me again as I experience this new story, as I go through those emotions, as that plot twist, totally blows my mind, and you just took that away from me. So that slight guilt trip, even, so you can kind of have a teaching moment too. They'll usually apologize, or they'll usually be quiet and just leave, because that's not somebody you want around anyway. But just be careful. It is a slippery slope once you kind of open the door. Once you realize that, once they realize that you don't have a hard no backseat gaming rule, some people do like to push it. There are people that will come into the chat. Be patient with them. They'll come into the chat and they didn't hear the first 2 rules, and they'll do it again. But trust me, if you just reiterate it a couple times, I don't know if it's just like the vibe of the channel, you know what I mean? Like, if they realize that nobody else is backseat gaming, they don't do it. But I mean, that's just the stance I've been at for like the past year. And I very rarely have somebody come in and get aggressive or try to backseat game. Now a lot of times, because I specifically just explain, like, don't tell me what to do and wait till I ask a question. I mean, because they still have that outlet, and they're like ready for that question. Now, you as the streamer, please, and this happens to me so many times, I get so stubborn, I refuse to ask for help. And not only do I start to refuse to ask for help, when I ask for help, I don't listen to the advice. Because I don't know, I get it, I'm just stubborn, and I know, and I tell them this, and this is something I'm working on. I don't know if it's because, like, it's something new and I have to, like, actively learn it, and I have to actively change my play style, and I feel like, ooh, why do I have to change myself for the game? And I don't know, maybe this is a deeper issue, but I don't like changing my play style for the game, but sometimes you have to, right? So please you as a streamer, do not get stubborn that you don't ask questions. Please do not get stubborn that when you ask questions, you're still not at least trying the suggestions that are being given to you, because not only is it gonna frustrate you as a gamer and not completing the game how you would like to, but, like, you're gonna be pushing people away, and in the future then, when you do ask a legitimate question, people are gonna be less inclined to answer, because they're like, oh, she asks all the time and then she never follows through, so, like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. So make sure that you're already kind of asking them to respect you and to hold back, but also respect the knowledge that they're bringing into the channel. And I know, even myself as a viewer with some of my most favorite games, if I go in and I see somebody struggling and struggling and struggling and struggling, and then they specifically say no backseat gaming, and they refuse to ask a question, I leave, because it starts to frustrate me, because I'm just like, if you would just do this one thing, we would be able to move past it and you wouldn't be getting angry at this amazing game. So keep that in mind too, that like sometimes these viewers too, like it's not, their intention isn't always to like mansplain or just kind of take over a channel or ruin your fun, but sometimes maybe they're trying to elevate it, but in a poor way. So open up communication with whatever you do. Make sure you're clear. Make sure you're calm. Make sure if you need to walk away for a second, like the game is frustrating you, you had an aggressive backseat gamer is frustrating you, walk away from the computer. Take a deep breath, splash your face with some cold water, get a drink, come back and be like, okay guys, I needed a moment, but this is why I needed a moment, all right? You guys are coming too much at me. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm getting upset. You know, if you just have that moment where you're a little bit honest with them, like you'd be surprised. People all of a sudden are like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like that was not my intention. Like they'll start even defending you, right? Like you'll have somebody else will come in channel and chat will be like, listen, don't tell her what to do. We're helping her. And like it's kind of cute. They all of a sudden like, they feel bad, right? Because like that was never their intention. So communicate to them, good and bad. And of course, final, if you do ask advice and they do help you, get excited about it, right? Like teamwork makes the dream work. Like I use that sentence so much because that gets them invested. They feel like part of the family. They feel like they contributed. When people contribute, they feel more like they own something, that they belong to something. That is going to help you bring viewers back. That is how you are going to build a community, is through that emotion. So please, if you do go through and you've gone through all those steps correctly and it worked, I want you to get super hyped with them. I want you to keep asking them questions. I want you to really develop kind of that friendship that's there, and it can become a very beautiful thing if done right. But also don't be afraid to stand your ground. If there's assholes out there, like just ban them. Like if they're just not listening, or they're coming in screaming at you, or they're coming in insulting your choices, just get them out of your life. They're just there to upset you, and it's not worth your time. So I wish you guys always the best of luck with this. This can be a very emotional roller coaster because it's a very fine line. It is probably one of the more advanced emotional kind of conversations I have with my students, because this is something that every single streamer deals with at some point, if not multiple times in their streaming career. And it's not easy to be like, oh, just do this or just do this. It's more of like, do this in the middle and kind of like fluctuate with your chat, right? Like that's a scary thing, but I can promise you that you'll get more comfortable with it. You know, keep up with it. Just keep communicating, right? Just keep communicating. And sometimes you might have to tell your mods to just take a deep breath, because sometimes mods will get a little bit too protective, and if they see people constantly trying to aggressively backseat game you, they might get a little up in arms, and we don't want that too. We want everybody to just remain cool, calm, and collected, and then go from there, and you are always in charge. Have a great time, guys. I really hope that you can find people that will help you and become part of your community. If you have any specific questions, or you're having any specific problems where you're like, hey, I really need advice with this backseat gamer, please reach out to me. I'm at nextstepstreaming.com, where you can book your free consultation phone call. I'm at nextstepstream on Twitter, and you can always email me at nextstepstreaming@gmail.com with any sort of questions, concerns, problems, whatever. I am your friend through this adventure, so please reach out to me. Blah, blah, blah. Please reach out to me. And I hope you guys have a great night.